This is what my time ended up looking like after tracking it for 1 week. And man, there was some big surprises. One of the most consistent things I've seen in high performers has been time tracking. And it's crazy because our monkey brains are predictably bad at understanding where our time actually goes. This video will walk you through some key time tracking techniques and what I discovered. For 1 week, I tracked my time through Google Calendar primarily, and this thing is minty mint. It's accessible from pretty much anywhere and from all devices. And so I can't forget to track my time. And by the way, not a sponsor. I wish, but come on, look at the views on this video, dude. Like, what did you think? Do you think I got sponsors already, man? Come on, come on. My one goal this week was to figure out where my time was going. And so I had three main focuses: business, time spent with family, and how much time I spent on social media. And so before we get into it, I'll explain my predictions. I thought I would spend minimum 40 hours on work, have around 10 hours for family and girlfriend, and lastly spend around 7 hours on social media. And I used a specific color coding strategy that helped visualize the entire process. So I used green for work, red for internet and social media activities, which to me was like red equals bad, so I was like, that makes sense. Blue for time with family and friends, and gray for all the little mundane things like routines and sleep. And now for the real numbers. Out of the 168 hours in a week, I spent 12 hours and 30 minutes on social media, 68 hours sleeping, 21 hours with family and friends, 8 hours doing personal activities like going to the gym and walking, and 31 hours working. Now, there were a few key surprises. First one is I thought I was getting around 7 to 8 hours of sleep per night, but it turns out I'm getting upwards of 9 to almost 10 hours of sleep per night. I was not expecting that at all. Second is I'm working significantly less than I thought I was. So I'm working around 31 hours a week, and if I want to be going to where I want to be, that's going to require at least double that. Thirdly, there's social media. I'm not too surprised about my social media habits. 12 hours makes sense, but I still get to cut down a little bit more on that. I don't know if you guys have seen this chart. I'll put it right there. Right there, am I doing it? This is the chunk of time it takes out of your life, which is just insane. And so finally for family, 20 hours is a lot. I mean, it makes sense, and I'm very grateful to have been able to spend that much time, but I'm thinking if I want to go in this certain direction that I'm aiming towards, right? 10K a month, travel the world, have fun, I'm gonna have to do some sacrifices and reduce that time a bit. Not only just reduce the time, but create time blocks where I can be 100% present with them and still meet my expectations for myself. But all that being said, I think it's become more obvious than ever that I am not all in. I'm not going full force into this. And that makes me realize that, oh shit, I'm in the valley of despair. This is from a concept known as the Dunning-Krueger effect. And this effect represents what everyone's feeling when starting something new. It's now been around 1 month since I started these weekly episodes, and I've realized I've slowly been creeping into the valley of despair. Understanding how much effort I gotta put into this to actually make this happen. Understanding that I have to double my output to make this happen. But I know my main goal and I know my vision. And this chart helps me understand what is the one thing that will truly get me there. And it's one word: volume. And so to summarize the Dunning-Krueger effect, everybody starts up at the peak of Mount Stupid. They're like, oh, this is gonna be so easy. I'm gonna make 10K a month. I wanna be a musician. Oh, damn, I'm gonna lose weight. And then they're like, damn, because they realize, holy shit, this is 10 times harder than I thought it would be. There's such a big learning curve. I don't have the expertise. I don't have the equipment. All these excuses, all these ideas, and all these realities that hold us back. And then they fall into the valley of despair. But then through volume, like I was saying, then we reach the slope of enlightenment at one point after pumping out volume, after putting in the hours. And then we realize, oh, okay, I'm not as stupid as I once was, and we're starting to see the light. We're starting to see, okay, I'm enlightened by the new knowledge I've acquired, and I know what's possible now. I just have to continue pushing. And then you reach the plateau of sustainability. It becomes like, oh, I could sustain this effort. Finally, I'm gonna call it out now so people don't limit themselves with this belief. And I truly don't mean this out of arrogance or out of being self-absorbed or whatever you might think, but people are gonna say that I was built different, or I just had it, I was built for it, I was just always unique, or I don't know, whatever they come up with. But I'm truly here to say, like, no. I'm just as doubtful and just as scared and just as undisciplined as the average person. As much as this whole experiment throughout this week has been for me to reflect on my own relationship with time and my own relationship with work and productivity, it's also to show you guys I'm nothing better than who you are right now in this moment. I am not perfect by any means. And what I truly believe is the only differentiating fact between all successful individuals I've ever met and all successful individuals that have ever been is just the simple fact that they chose. They sat down and they put in the hours and they just did it. That's it. They stepped into the person they wanted to be. The goal is to choose to change myself into the person who can make it happen. And it all starts with a choice. And finally, something to ponder. What would be the value in just stepping into it? Stepping into whatever you think would move the boulder up that hill. For me, it's getting out of the house, away from distraction, and putting in the hours towards getting my client. Hope this video was helpful. Love you guys, and see you guys next week. Peace.
Like I say, there'll be better days, better days, better days.